But in return for God's blessings, what do we do? That's the meditation I'd like you to think about tonight. What do we do? The woman who only put a couple pennies in, she knew that she couldn't afford to give those pennies away. She knew that the temple really didn't need her 2 pennies. It wasn't going to go broke over 2 pennies. But she gave it because of her obligation to God. That's why we take up a collection, not necessarily just to pay the bills, but it's to remind us of our need to, 1, thank God for all He has given us, and 2, out of gratitude, to say thanks. When Father Regis and I, or if you're visiting from another parish, your own pastor is asking for, folks, we need to increase the collection, or folks, we need ministers, or folks, some yard work needs done. It's not necessarily because we're lazy. It's to help us all to remind ourselves that when it comes to God, we shouldn't be moochers. We all can be moochers. You, me as a priest, everybody. That pastor was a moocher because he was just living off the parish and wasn't really giving back to the parish. The ladies were moochers because they just wanted to be heard and they didn't want to help with the parish itself. We sometimes tend to forget to give thanks to God. We all have a debt to pay. That debt is due to Jesus dying on the cross. How do we pay it? That's what I'd like you to think on. I'm a student. I don't have a job. I can't afford to give anything in the envelope. Okay. That's fine. Can you help out? Not for our sake, but for yours. I'm too old. I've done my share. Can you still pray? There are many people who can use our prayers. In my experience over the years, the unwritten rule is that those who give the least or do the least demand the most. I'm asking you not to give me anything or the parish anything for our sake. I'm asking you, as our meditation tonight, to think about what your faith truly means to you. Have you, 1, thanked God for all those blessings? 2, how can you return in one way, shape, or form the debt that was paid for you? Whether it's here, whether it's in the community, whether it's praying for somebody, how can you contribute? To mooch, to just demand, to just expect to be entertained, to just expect to receive and not help out. God will remember that. You may get away with it, or I may get away with it in this world. But sooner or later, we're going to have to pay. Think about it. Hopefully, it will spring something in you. Hopefully, maybe one of my brother priests over the internet will hear it and be reminded of our duty. Hopefully, those listening at home tonight will not think that I've done my dues and I'm finished, but at least continue to pray. Finances, in the end, are needed, but that's not what God wants. He wants you, He wants me, He wants everybody to love Him, so that, more importantly, He can love us in return.